Welcome back to 5 Rounds. This past Saturday, the UFC returned to Brazil for Fight Night. Shogun Rua versus OSP, Ovince St. Preux. It was originally supposed to be Jimmy Manuwa. Everybody was expecting a stand-up battle. I anticipated that OSP would immediately take this fight down to the ground and grind out a 5-round decision. What happened? The exact opposite of that. A 35-second TKO victory for the American, silencing the crowd in Brazil. And a lot of people are asking the question, is this it for Shogun Rua?
Yeah, and only Shogun will know the answer to that, and he's earned the right to make that answer however he wants to make it. He's one of the great fighters ever. You talk to somebody about who pioneered fighting. If they know fighting, he's one of the guys. He's a key element to their whole evolution through pride and everything, and he's a wonderful fighter. I think he'll probably keep fighting, and he has every right to keep fighting. Sometimes later in guys' careers, things start to happen. It's still up to them. Yep. He got caught with a left hook, and OSP kind of changed his footwork back, went from southpaw to orthodox and closed the door with the left hook. It's something he's been working on, and he didn't even land it that cleanly, but early in a fight, anything can happen, and it's sad to see Shogun go down like that, but I think he'll be back, and he has every right to.
Of course, we know that he's going to be coaching The Ultimate Fighter opposite Anderson Silva, but on top of that, you look at the way the finish went down, and now, I'm not arguing with the stoppage. I mean, Shogun was taking some punches. But in the past, it all comes down to the referee. If you had the same referee, I think it was Josh Rosenthal who refereed Brock Lesnar versus Shane Carwin. If he was in there, I would imagine that because we've seen what happens with Shogun, this guy comes in later. Yeah. He gets beaten down in some of his fights, but comes back and finds a way to win. And I would expect, if you look at, he wasn't unconscious in this fight. Yes, he was eating some big punches, but he was still trying to grab OSP's leg. And who knows what would happen if that fight went on for 30 seconds longer. He could be out cold in that fight. But because it's one of the reasons why fans love Shogun is because he's one of these guys that doesn't bail. He fights through the pain. He fights through adversity. And a lot of times he makes a comeback.
Yeah, we talked about that off camera. It's like, should the ref take into account a guy's history, how tough he is, what he's capable of, or should it be universal? You take those shots unanswered and you're up. I don't know the answer to that, but if the same ref who refed him versus Dan Henderson was in that one, he'd probably let him go. But, you know, we also saw punches to the back of the head in that one. There's a lot still. It's still a work in progress officiating this sport. But Shogun, do your thing, man. You want to keep fighting, keep fighting. You want to retire, thank you for everything.
It was a great fight card in Australia, not so much in Brazil. We were supposed to have the flyweight matchup between Lineker and Ian McCall. A viral infection booted Ian McCall out of the fight. Hopefully in the future we'll get to see these guys get it on. And that will be it for us. Next week we take a look at all the action that went down at UFC 180, as well as the big Bellator show that features Tito Ortiz and Stephan Bonnar next week on 5 Rounds.